It is about seeing the film in the cinema. That's where you have to go to watch it, you know. Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many. But I'd have to say, since I got this guy sitting next to me, like all of the movies of his that I'm not in, they're
both of them.
They're the ones that I remember going to see Interstellar, for example, and just the anticipation, waiting for that to come out, and then seeing it in the IMAX, and you know, it lived up to it.
In England, when I was a kid, we used to get the big Hollywood films about 6 months later than America. So you'd actually have a lot of time to think about, you know, things like Star Wars or whatever. You'd be, particularly when there was a sequel or something, you'd be very excited, and then you go and line up outside the theatre or whatever. And no, it's a really, I don't think there's anything quite like that great sense of anticipation in movies.
And that's what you do at your films. I think you manage to build that sense of anticipation without, you know, without having any spoilers or any of that stuff. So it is about seeing the film in the cinema. That's where you have to go to watch it, you know. I worked with Emily on Quiet Place. I think when you have a friendship or a trust or an understanding with an actor, I think something transfers on screen. I think there is something you get for free in the casting. And it gives you that level of trust between the performers, particularly when you have to go to more kind of difficult places. You know, there's a few scenes in that where we really had to go there, you know, and Chris really pushed us. And similarly for Florence, she has this incredible presence on film, and she has this like kind of devastating impact in the film. She's kind of the next generation. She's just, I think, one of the most exciting actors out there. Them
knowing each other and having an easy communication was great. So once I cast Emily as Kitty, I thought, why not get him to play Oppenheimer? I'd wanted to work with Emily for a long time. Cillian, I've had the good fortune of working with for 20 years, and that for us is a great ease of communication and trust. Emily I'd wanted to work with for some time, and coming in to play Kitty, Kitty's one of the most complicated figures in the history as you come to it. Their relationship was very hard for people outside the relationship to understand, and the challenge for her was to take us into that and create a sense of empathy with this complicated woman. And in the case of Jean Tatlock, I was very, very pleased that Florence was willing to come and do this character, because Florence is one of the great up-and-coming actors with an incredible and a luminous screen presence. She's a terrific actor and great to work with, and what she fully understood about Jean is that Jean is somebody who was so important to Oppenheimer's life. In fact, in a way, his entire fate sort of hung on his early relationship with her and everything that brought to his own obsessions. She's a figure who very much hung over him for the rest of his life. It's a terrific ensemble in total, and I think one of the most important relationships in the film is General Groves and Oppenheimer. Not quite a love story, but certainly they were very connected. I think they had a really interesting connection, and Matt and Cillian working together was a really fun thing to see.
Off you go, Chris.
This is a cautionary tale, and we're dealing with the film, a story about consequences. And so really the idea behind the film is to jump into Oppenheimer's head and go on his journey with him. And in that way, I think there is a thrilling sense of momentum and achievement and all the rest, but underneath that, there are some troubling questions arising throughout the film, and particularly at the end. I mean, I'm hoping we leave the audience with some things to think about.
I mean, I can't say it better than that. I think
that's going to be how this goes.
Yeah, okay. He's going to keep doing that way.
What he said.